How has your leadership changed? Like your belief of it coming into president and then finishing, or just in your case, like where you are now. Happy for anyone to take the floor from here. What has been your experience with the definition of leadership from when you started and where you currently are now?
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in, Cam. I think you touched on it earlier. It's about building genuine connection with people. I feel as though that's where I've really grown as a leader, not only through the club, but just in my personal and professional life, is building genuine connection with people, finding common ground, and being able to see the best in them as well. I feel like, going through the Bouldering Society, through my time at uni, I felt that I was really able to kind of bring the best out in people, not only the leadership team, but also our members as well. So I think when we talk about leadership, I think it really starts with that connection that you forge with other people, and they could be like-minded. What you've got to understand is that bouldering draws a very diverse crowd. I'm sure everyone in this chat can agree. So being able to connect with all sorts of people from very vast walks of life. So I think that's, for me, kind of where my leadership journey kind of started.
Fantastic. Anyone else want to have their take on the floor of this one?
For me, it's interesting because in the first year of Boulder Soc, I was secretary while Cameron was president. So because we were a small team, even though, Cam was obviously, the big man, he was making the calls, he was guiding the club, there was definitely a lot more sort of higher decisions that were sort of shared amongst the club as well, because we were only a team of 5. So there was definitely a lot more input there. And I remember being secretary and helping Cam and Jared design the events in the early days. I kind of felt a bit like the fun uncle that got to, throw ideas out there, but was never really accountable for the decisions in the end, because ultimately Cam was the face of the club that year. So I think being president myself the next year really taught me what it means to be accountable for decisions that you make or decisions that you don't make. And definitely taught me a lot about communication. There's communication with the members, because they're what keep the club going. There's communication with your team, because we're just a social club. We don't make any money. We don't pay salaries or anything. So we're all volunteers. So if you don't have kind of, not to sound a bit grim, but if you don't have money to motivate people, there's got to be something else, or to connect people. You need to, and as president, you need to build that. And that was a really interesting experience as well. So yeah, communication, accountability. Yeah, that was 2 things that changed dramatically through being an exec and a president.
Hey, just a quick announcement before we return to the podcast. If you're someone who's been feeling a bit stuck lately, maybe you're switching careers, rebuilding your routine, or just trying to get your life together, I get it. That's exactly why I write the Midweek Motivation newsletter, where every week I share real, honest thoughts on training, mindset, and the messy process of figuring life out. Especially for guys like us, we're in our 20s and 30s, just trying to get ahead in our careers, fitness, and performance. It's short and it's personal, and it might just give you the push you need during the middle of the week when it's least motivating. You can subscribe using the link in the show notes below, or go to substack.com and search up Midweek Motivation. All right, let's get back to the podcast. That's a really solid point, because, yeah, like you said, everyone that's in your team, they're coming to volunteer their own time, outside their own degree, outside their own social commitments and work commitments, right? So it's so hard to I found it really challenging to have the team continuing to be motivated across the journey. And I did my best what I could. I always tried to prioritize the team before even the club itself, make sure they're okay and everything, and with their workload. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, when in most team environments these days, so this is going to be talking about jobs and career, right? Money is going to be the biggest factor. So I'm just really curious to know, maybe what is a couple of things that you have taken away from this club that you could be working, you don't have to mean necessarily managing team, but also working with team, really, on how you can work together cohesively without running into too much conflict where money could be a factor. I wonder if anyone has any thoughts on kind of that topic there.
I think one of the most important things, at least in my experience as an exec or like president or whatever, was setting goals that everyone was on board with. So like For example, like we wanted to buy pads for the club to do more outdoor bouldering, and it's like everyone's so psyched about climbing indoors, and it's like going outdoors is such a far dream, you know what I mean? But everybody was on board, like everybody on the exec team, members as well were also on board, and like setting those goals and like working towards achieving them, and just reminding yourself and your teammates that, hey guys, this is what we want to work towards, and it's not just for us, it's for the wider community, it's for the people that we care about, it's for the community that we built. It's like way more rewarding. I know it's cheesy, but it's way more rewarding than anything financial, in my opinion. Like just having people go outdoors together with all the pads that we purchased as a club was like a really like next level experience. And yeah, I just think like setting goals and achieving those goals that you think would be impossible is like next level.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really great response. I love the fact that you're trying to get everyone on board with a common goal, and it's completely normal to not have everyone maybe really appreciate the idea, but obviously, like, if with the majority, trying to get people passionate about like what you're trying to do with the club, and when you show that, like, regardless if your team members are maybe you're fully onboarded, they can see that you're really putting your effort into it, and they're inspired by that. So yeah, that's really cool, Mika, that you said that.